Well, none other than Richard Southern himself is joining us next to fill us in on the business news of the day. Hey, Richard.
Hey, Cynthia. Always fun when you're on the business report, by the way. Love it.
Well, back at you. All right, let's start with Bombardier. And this was an interesting walkout organized by the union, and they're taking on sending a strong message today.
Yeah, it's unusual because usually when a union walks off the job, it's because they're angry at the company, angry at management. Not the case here. So Bombardier workers, they walked off today at Bombardier's headquarters in North Toronto, but it was because they wanted to express solidarity with Bombardier. You see, Boeing, the big U.S. plane maker, it's locked in a big battle with Bombardier. Boeing has accused Canada's Bombardier of selling its new C-Series passenger jet to Delta Airlines at an unfairly low price because of Canadian government subsidies, and Bombardier pushing back against that, alleging that Boeing has sold some of its planes at reduced prices as well. The U.S. Department of Commerce is going to rule on this next week, Cynthia, but it's interesting to see a union walking off the job in support of management instead of against them.
Well, in this case, it's in their best interest because jobs would be at stake, right?
Absolutely. We've heard the Prime Minister weigh in on this issue as well in the last couple of days.
That's right. Now let's turn to Apple, like another massive company. And there's trouble in Apple land, it seems. Poor reviews of its new watch, slow sales of the new iPhone, and stocks are going down. Absolutely.
Shares were down more than 1.5% today. Had the early reviews in for the Apple Series Watch 3, the one that you can make phone calls on, and many of the reviewers said they had trouble connecting the watch to cellular networks, and when it did connect, the battery drained quickly. Battery only lasted half a day. What's more, analysts say pre-orders for the iPhone 8 are much lower than with previous models, although that could be by design. Apple perhaps wanting to force customers to buy its iPhone 10, the more feature-packed, more expensive model, which hasn't come up for pre-order yet. But yeah, Apple stock today, Cynthia, taking a bit of a hit.
Now, let's put that in perspective. Is it a big hit for this massive company? Like, how damaging would that be?
No, you have to put it in perspective. You're right in that Apple stock is up about 35% this year, so it's had a good run. But interesting to see a pullback of 1.5% to 2%. It's a sizable pullback, and it sort of reflects a little bit of nervousness for some of these products, but still been a good year for Apple stock.
All right, let's turn to food. Now, it's not unusual for companies to come out with kosher products, but Richard, you're telling me this one's different.
It is kosher marijuana, Cynthia, a sign of the times. Yeah, absolutely. Of course, we're on the eve. We're on the eve here of Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year, and a Canadian medical marijuana producer by the name of Hydropothecary is out with, yes, a kosher marijuana, the first cannabis to sport a seal of approval from the rabbi. The certification requires a couple of different components, including an audit of the cleaning protocols used in the grow operation. So far, the kosher designation is just for the medical market. We'll have to see what happens next year when marijuana is legal for recreational use, Cynthia.
And still with marijuana, here's an interesting sign of the times. A local college is going to teach people how to grow it.
Gives a different meaning to maybe a higher education, Cynthia. So it's Niagara College. They are starting a program now, a postgraduate program on how to grow marijuana in a commercial setting. And the program will also teach you about all the legal ramifications you need to know in Canada. Al Irwin is the associate dean at Niagara College. He says there's been tons of demand for this program from marijuana companies. Take a look.
There's a huge need for highly skilled, well-trained individuals that are not only knowledgeable about the crop itself, but as well the legal requirements that are governed by Health Canada.
This is not the first offbeat course, Cynthia, that Niagara College has offered. Earlier this year, they started a commercial beekeeping program. So kind of some cool programs there at Niagara College these days.
Interesting. Okay, so it wasn't really a surprise because this has been rumored for a while. Toys R Us declared bankruptcy, filing for bankruptcy this week. But Richard, many are saying that this could be the end of Barbie.
Yeah, she might have to pack up her dream home and head out of town, Cynthia. You see, Mattel is the big company that owns Barbie, and Mattel is the biggest supplier to Toys R Us. They really rely on Toys R Us for a big chunk of their sales. Mattel stock down 7% this week, and traders are betting that there's more pain to come. Short interest on the stock, that being people betting that it's going to go down further, is through the roof right now. So big concerns about whether Barbie can survive this because Mattel shares, they're already down about 50% on the year, Cynthia.
Wow, interesting. And, you know, it's hard to find a big toy store nowadays.
It is, and it's not just Toys R Us's fault when it comes to Barbie. It's also that kids are playing with more electronic-type toys instead of those plastic figures.
Exactly. Very true. Okay, now it's still September, but you can already get tickets to Toronto's Christmas market. But this year, you can get front-of-the-line tickets.
Yeah, who wants to wait in line with all the regular schmuck, right, Cynthia? You can go right to the front of the line, all right, like you're a somebody this year at the Christmas market. So general admission, $6. That's the same as last year. But for $20, you get the Express Pass, allowing you to breeze past the line and walk right in. Of course, there's always big crowds at the Christmas. I know, exactly. Turn your nose up to everyone else. It starts on November 17th, only 8 weeks away, Sin.
All right, and we're saving the last topic for last, and I don't even know what this is about. You've piqued my interest, Richard. The next product could be the worst Christmas gift ever, and it's for those who aren't lucky enough to have a dad bod. Please explain.
A dad bod, a beer belly. So there's a new product now called the Dad Belly, and it looks like you got a bit of a beer belly, Cynthia, but in actual fact, it's a fanny pack. You can put your beer, your pop in there, maybe your cell phone charger. And these are going to sell for $30 each. There's a Kickstarter campaign, and it's a convenient thing. Fanny packs are actually back in, by the way. People are wearing them again, and this is a good look, don't you think? Absolutely, it's very convenient. There's a zipper; you don't lose anything.
If you say so, I don't know. I really don't know.
I wear one to the newsroom every day. I wear a neon fanny pack to the newsroom every day. You can't see it below the shot, but it's there.
Really?
Absolutely.
Really? Yeah. I think you're fishing with us. I don't believe you.
I'm a trendsetter.
All right,
I'm a trendsetter.
There you go. As always, thanks very much. Great to talk to you.
Thanks.